I get a lot of people in here, they start seeds and then they come in, they're like, yeah, my seeds is this tall and it fell over, and that's not enough light. Hey, I'm Gary from Hydroponics in York Springs, Pennsylvania. Today we are talking about how to choose the best LED grow light for your room. I wanted to clear some stuff up with this because we get calls and emails about this, and when people come in here and they want to get an LED grow light for their room, the first thing I ask is how big of a space are you going to cover? That is the main question, because there's all different sizes of these things and they go along with what size you're trying to cover. Now, some rooms you're going to need more than one light. It just depends on what you got going on. Like, for example, a 4x8 room, you're going to need at least 2 big lights. 8x8 room, I just had a call this morning, 8x8 room, and the guy's like, I need to get a light for that. And I'm like, well, there is no light for that. You're going to need to get 4 lights. And then he was sticker shocked by the price, and I was like, well, it is what it is. But pretty much I'm going to clear this up. So we're going to do a little show and tell here of all my lights that I have here. There's over 1,000 brands of LEDs now. So good luck. You know, if you're buying a 1,000-watt LED on the Jungle website and it's $69.95. Hey guys, what's going on here? Hey man, you look a little down. Like, did she not let you spend the money to get a good light? Like, I don't know. This kind of ads you guys are falling for. Like, come on, people. The grow light is the most important thing in your garden, arguably. And I mean, you can spend tons of money on food and nutrients and soil and tents, and then you buy a light like this, and you're gonna be stuck growing African violets. So it's kind of, yeah, watch what you're buying. All right, so with that many brands, when people call me, you know, I haven't heard of all the brands, and I'm not saying that because I haven't heard of them, they're not good brands, but you know, yeah, if your 1,000-watt lights cost $69.95, good luck with that. I'm sure it'll grow something, but there's a lot of lies out there, and the companies I deal with here are good companies, American born, and we're sticking with them. Horticultural Lighting Group is my favorite LEDs. This is why I started liking LEDs. Before these came out, I was not a fan of them. They were purple, blurple, kind of actually made me nauseous to my stomach. But I was listening to the Heavy Tea Grow Show, which that is not for children. But they're out of California. They had Steve Johnson on there from Johnson Grow Lights, and he was talking about a light emitting surface. And I'm like, what is that? And this was years ago, and he pretty much came up with the idea of putting LEDs on boards like this for growing. And I was like, well, that's awesome. And he joined up with someone else, started the Horticultural Lighting Group, and voila, it's now 2021, and they've gotten bigger and bigger. Like, this thing came out, the Scorpion Diablo, these have what they call the quantum boards on it. Steve has bought the machine from Samsung to plot these boards himself, which is awesome. So they're trying to do everything in America that they can to make this as much American made as you can get it. That's the first one of them out of the box, because all these displays I have hanging up here, they sent me like a free light way back. I think it was a $5.50, but this is all out of my pocket. So I've been wanting to get one out because the Diablo is expensive light. I'm going to walk you through all these lights that we have. Just you're going to go down the rundown here. Horticultural Lighting Group, they got the 65s. That's one of their smallest ones they have. This one is good for cloning machine. And then it goes up to the 100s. The R-Spec 100 is their latest light at the 100 line. They used to have them separate. They had a 3K and a 4K. So you had your flower, you had your veg. But the R-Spec with the spectrum has enough blue in it to keep stuff from stretching and enough red to finish your plant. So you can use it the whole way through without a problem. This is the 100R. This can veg like up to a 3x3 area. And for flowering, you're talking about a 2x2. The next one up from that is the 135, which is also the R-Spec. And pretty much all their lights are going to be the R-Spec. And the 135 is definitely, for the extra 35 watts, it's definitely got a kick to it. This can flower like 2.5 by 2.5. You can veg 3x3 with it without a problem. And then up from there, we're going to go over to this direction here, and I'm going to show you the 300. The HLG 300, they have this in the R spec. They also have a B spec here, which is the blue spec, which is veg only on that one. Now the R spec, like I said, you can veg flower with it. It doesn't seem to stretch under them. They're doing great. This particular light can do about a 3 foot by 4 foot at the very most. 3x3 would advertise them as. And sorry I keep hitting my microphone, but that is the 300. Then the B spec here is totally different looking light when you plug it in. This thing is veg only, so they do have dimmers on top too. So yeah, that's a dimmer knob up here. Pretty much all their lights beyond the 135 have a built-on knob, but even their small lights, you can dim them. There's a little rubber piece on top of the ballast that you plop off, and you can stick a screwdriver in there and dim it down. So yeah, that's your B spec. If you want to go really big on veg, this is the 550 Eco. This thing is amazing. It's veg only, it's a 4K board, and yeah, put that on the ceiling, you can pretty much do a 6x6 veg with it, and that's veg only on that. They're big lights. They've got, if you've been watching all my videos, I did a video for the 550 probably like 3 or 4 years ago now. That was like the original big light they had. This is the 600. The difference between the 550 and the 6 is they've widened the light, so now it can cover up to 5 foot by 5 foot. For a 4x4 area, I like it a lot. It's awesome. 5x5, it still does great. It's the sun pretty much. Put it at the top of the tent and just blast it. Some of my customers have been dimming some of these down and actually getting better results dimming them down a little bit. So there's a lot to talk about with LEDs. I know all of you that are really into this, you know the PPFs and all that. For you people that don't understand all those numbers, micromoles, PPFs, it's the photonic energy of the light. Photons are literally the energy hitting the plant. So they give you these charts to tell you the spread of how your light covers. These charts are a little deceiving because when they do these tests, they're in an open room that's completely blacked out. There's no reflective walls or anything. So when you stick a light into a grow tent, it changes all these numbers a bit. So when it comes to even coverage, these charts, it's deceiving. I just want you to know that. This is the Diablo 650R. This one, you're dealing with more of a commercial light. This is a direct replacement for a double-ended light, which uses about 1100 watts. This light here only pulls 600, 650 at the most. It's got the dimmer on it. This thing, you need some distance between the light and your plants, where some other lights, like the 600, you can be 18 to 24 inches. This one, you want to be 24 to 36 inches from the top of your plants. So keep that in mind. It's a bad, awesome light. Another thing about these quantum boards that I like with the Diablos is they have a lot more chips in them, but they're using the same amount of wattage, so they're not overpowering the chips, so they end up running way cooler than some of these other brands and other kind of boards that are out there. For a 2x4 area, like the 300 I showed you over there, that can basically do a 2x4, but this one here is a 350, and this one is spaced out to fit a 2x4 like real nice. And give that a quick plug in for you. And in my opinion, for a 2x4, this is the best light there is for a 2x4 tent. And 2x4 tents are actually pretty cool because you can actually reach and get to all your plants, where you start going to a 4x4, 5x5, it's hard to get into the back of the tent. Got your Scorpion Diablo here. This light is awesome. And yeah, I'm not going to blind you all. So this light is their answer to the rail lights, or what I call bar lights, where you have a bunch of bars of lights going across, they're all hooked together. They came out with this as a direct answer to that, and they did darn good. It is a beast. And in a 4x4 tent, it will cover very evenly. So yeah, there's your 4 feet right there. So really there's only about 6 inches around the whole outside edge of it, which is sweet. And that light is awesome. That's all I can say about it. I'm going to go down this way. I'm going to show you some other little lights we got in here. We have other brands besides Horticultural Lighting Group. You know, if you're local and you're coming in and shopping here, I try to keep everything stacked up. We got stacks of everything. And we got the old T5 fluorescents back here too. Even got your old school CFLs. Like this light versus the 100 R spec. There's just no, like I just wouldn't spend the money on this. This is a light bulb we're gonna have to replace every year. This thing will run forever. While I'm looking at that, I'm gonna just show you real quick the spectrum here. This is the R spec. You got a nice peak in the blue. You've got all your other spectrums between the blue and the red. This is the old Hortilux 1000 watt. And pretty much this does not have the red that that has, and it doesn't have the blue either. These lights are still great. People don't want to use them because of the electric, and I get that. But you know, old school still works. It'll still grow a plant. Anyway, down this way, got some seed starter lights here. This little guy, this comes in all different sizes. These are strip LED strip lights. It's made by Sunblaster. I've been dealing with Sunblaster for probably 10 years now. I used to get my fluorescent stuff from them, and they're a good company. This light, I was actually surprised. I started some seeds with it, and the seeds, I figured I'd start them, and then after a week or two, change to a different light. But the seeds did not stretch, so I kept using it for the whole duration of my seed starting. The plant's got about 5 or 6 inches tall, and yeah, kind of surprised. This is a really good, cheap, affordable light. Clones, just a little cut tray. They work fine. If you like messing with the spectrum of the lights, like myself, I don't have time for that. I just like to plug something in and go. But a lot of you techie guys out there love this stuff. Kind LED, this company's been around for a pretty long time now, and they've got a reputation for having very good quality of their lights. There's a lot of knockoffs of this stuff out there, but Kind is really the original. This has lots of spectrums in it of different diodes, and you can get a controller for it and actually change the entire spectrum, like fine tune it to how you like it, which is really cool for a lot of you tech people. And yes, it's the purple, bluish, what we call blurple. But the plant will definitely grow under that. These come in all different sizes. We drop ship these straight from Kind if you want to order any of these. Any of you local people coming to the store, I still sell the old ballast. I've got, the original Phantoms here, which if anybody's been in this game for a long time, Phantom ballasts rock. Like, they're solid as rock. And we also have a full array of all the different ballasts. We even got the magnetic ballast, some old hoods still here, the ceramic 315s. We pretty much have something for everybody. Whatever you're looking for, give us a try. We're here. The Phantom ballast caught my eye because of this right here. And when I saw that HydroFarm was coming out with their own LED from the Phantom factory, I was like, sweet. This is the Photo Bio. This light is pretty darn sweet. It can get down to 12 inches from your light. It's got a built-in dimmer. It is pretty much commercial ready, and you can load up a commercial facility and hook this up to a master controller that could control like up to hundreds of lights at a time through their integrated wiring system here. The ballast on this can be mounted off the light. You don't have to mount it straight to the light. Most of the LEDs we carry have smart ballast, so the voltage the ballast will recognize the voltage and change itself internally, which you can just turn it into a 120 and voila. But yeah, that's the new Photo Bio. This light is, construction wise, is beautiful. Love it. It's awesome. And it's also blinding. So that is the Photo Bio by HydroFarm. We do drop ship these straight from the website too. Pretty good price on these too. versus some of the other ones out there. And this thing is tough. All right, what else we got here? This is the UV bar for horticultural lighting group. These are pretty cool how they design these. They actually hook into your existing wiring on your fixture, and then it comes with clips that clip to these two screws on it, so you can mount it right there. And UV will help fill in, especially during the end of your grow, can help you produce more essential oils. But anyway, I want to just do a quick rundown of the lights here. That way you know what you're trying to choose here. So this, when you want a light, you need to think about the size area you're trying to cover. Like if you got a 2x4 grow tent, you're not putting this in there. If you got a 3x3 grow tent, you're not getting this in there. You know, and then you put something like this into a 4x4 grow tent, what's going to happen is your plants are going to start stretching because they're not getting enough light. And that's a huge problem that we hear all the time here. You know, I started my tomato plant, it got up like this tall and then fell over. That's because it doesn't have enough light. It thinks it's under your pile of leaves, and yeah. So you need to get some light going with your plants, and yeah, that's about all I got to say about that. I'm going to show you, do a quick show you of the Scorpion in a 4x4 grow tent. We got the 600 R spec Scorpion, and then I do have the other photo, but I want to go show you that real quick. I probably should have prepped that. All right, so this is the Scorpion 600. It's got the 6 boards on it. It's not the Diablo boards, but this one is still an awesome light. This one you can get up to 12 inches from your plants, which is cool. The Diablo board, you're not going to do that. Diablos are going to have to be at least 18 inches away, so it's a pretty cool light. You're dealing with about 6 inches all the way around from your tent, which is nice. Little tricky on the ratchet ropes, but you'll figure that out. This does have the built-in dimmer, so I can dim it down from 60 watts to 600 watts. And yeah, it fits nice in there. And that can do up to a 5x5 too in a tent. So just want to show you that. All right, this is the other Phantom LED grow light. This is the Pheno 440. This one's pretty cool. The big light, by the way, does fold in half. When you go to ship that thing, it's got hinges on it. It folds in half. This thing just comes in already put together, pretty much. This has adjustable brackets here, which is really cool. You can aim the light. So that could come in advantage, like if you want your outside edges to get a little bit more light. So I thought that was pretty cool. But anyway, yeah, if you could, after the credits roll here, if you want to continue watching, I'm going to play a little video from HydroFarm about their factory that built these. So stay tuned. I appreciate you watching. As always, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to us. I really do appreciate it. It makes me know that people want more videos, and I'm going to keep on trying to get more videos out. And other than that, if you haven't checked out our website, it's shop.pahydroponics.com. And we do sell a lot of stuff from our videos on there. And I appreciate you watching. Take care.
Quality in equals quality out. It's the motto we build by. We control the quality down to the smallest detail so we can deliver the most reliable LED fixture to you. Some of the smallest components are the most important. We start with top bin high-performance diodes as our foundation. Our process starts with an air shower, which helps ensure an ISO-grade clean environment each step of the way. Each batch of LEDs is thoroughly inspected and tested before being mounted directly onto the printed circuit board. Inside the automated reflow oven, the LEDs are mounted and soldered onto the PCB. To ensure they are defect-free, a camera autonomously scans and inspects each LED panel. Then, a thin layer of high-performance optical encapsulant is precisely applied to shield the light source from dust and water. We test every single driver repeatedly because a reliable LED driver is fundamental to the fixture's success. Our driver assembly starts with the precision of the automated pick-and-place machine adding electrical components. Our technicians finish installation by hand and inspect each driver's circuit board prior to arriving at the first of 2 multi-point functionality tests. The circuit board is installed in housing and filled with resin to secure and protect them from the elements like moisture, heat, and shock. Next, a 4-hour aging test is performed, which is designed to simulate their real working environment. We don't stop quality control yet. At this stage, the full fixture undergoes 3 more tests. The assembly begins with the auto-screwing machine precisely mounting the PCB on the heatsink. Final fixture assembly is completed by our technicians. And just like our drivers, each one must complete a 1 to 2 hour aging test. Afterwards, they are placed in an integrating sphere to measure and confirm light spectrum distribution and output. Then, one final 8-point functionality test is conducted. Each and every fixture has been inspected carefully to ensure its performance and functionality. That's how we build quality for you. Extraordinary performance, extreme efficiency, exacting design. For more, visit phantombio.com and hydrofarm.com.